J'ai pas compris là. Gros bug. Oh, c'est pas grave, hein. C'est un peu con quoi. Bon, ça va. On n'a rien loupé par rapport à la VOD, mais bon, merde. Gros bug là. Je pouvais même plus me servir de la souris ni rien. Plus couper le live, rien. Il s'est mis à complètement vriller le machin. Ça m'a ouvert plein de trucs. Je sais pas ce qui s'est passé là. Même dans le chat, je sais pas ce qui s'est passé. C'est bizarre. Je vais essayer d'écrire dans le chat quand même. Là, c'est bon là. Trop bizarre ce truc. Je ne comprends pas. Je n'ai pas compris ce qui s'est passé. Bon, il a pété les plombs de PC d'un coup là. Je n'ai pas compris là. Bon, bah, désolé pour cette petite coupure de merde. J'y suis pour rien. J'y suis vraiment pour rien. Je sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Bon, et puis il est où l'indice là, mon indice là? J'ai utilisé un point d'intuition, pourquoi là? Pour rien? C'est une blague? Bon bah. C'est peut-être tout en bas hein, aussi, hein. C'est peut-être dehors, hein, tout simplement, hein. Apparemment non, hein. Moi, je sais pas. On va voir. Ici, il n'y a rien. Ok. Ici non plus. Bizarre quand même. Bizarre, bizarre. Bizarre, bizarro. Donc on va monter complètement. On va voir. Ok. Que dalle. Non plus. J'ai utilisé un point d'intuition pour rien, là, j'ai l'impression aussi, hein. Ah, il m'en reste un, quoi. Alors, faudra peut-être y revenir. On va aller au cabinet du docteur Stoneman. Quand c'est entouré comme ça, c'est qu'il faudra revenir. Donc voilà quoi. Tout est dit, mais il nous reste quand même un indice. Alors c'est peut-être pour plus tard. Mais on y reviendra. On y reviendra. On y reviendra.
Bukowski, Galloway, quite the little reunion in there. Almost brought a tear to my eye.
They're good police.
How would you know? You got promoted so fast you barely had time to learn their names. Let me fill you in. Bukowski's a pushover. Galloway's a drunk.
You could learn a thing or two from both of them.
Please. They couldn't work a vice case if their life depended on it.
I don't see why they'd be any better or worse at it than me.
I noticed you said better. Hubris disguised as humility. Kind of your trademark, don't you think?
Why do you always twist everything? Galloway's got nothing to prove. He's been on homicide for years.
And he's welcome to it. You're a terrier, Phelps, and that's what I need. Not some old bulldog who can't get up a flight of stairs without coughing up his lunch.
Any in the vicinity officer needs assistance, 1825 North Highland Avenue, 1825 North Highland Avenue. Unit to have a code to identify.
We might get there quicker if you use the siren.
Ok. On va prendre l'ascenseur.
I swear, if we locked up every doctor in this town, Vice would be able to work half days.
Yes, sir, your name?
LAPD. We'd like to see Dr. Stoneman.
Dr. Stoneman is with a patient. Would you like to wait?
No, we wouldn't. Tell him we want to see him now.
There's no need to be rude.
Save it, sister.
Dr. Stoneman, I have some gentlemen from the LAPD here to see you.
Send them in, please. I'll see this patient again after they've left.
Dr. Stoneman, we are investigating the death of one of your patients, Julia Randall.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions about Ms. Randall?
Not if it doesn't compromise doctor-patient privilege, Detective.
How well did you know Ms. Randall?
Barely at all. She'd only been a patient 6 months or so.
You didn't like her, did you?
It was a question of life, Detective. She was incredibly beautiful. When you looked in her eyes, you knew how a mouse felt before a snake. Not an ounce of warmth there.
You wrote Julia Randall a prescription for Benzedrine. How can you account for that?
Miss Randall was in the fashion business. She wanted to control her weight.
Benzedrine is addictive, as I'm sure you know, doctor.
As I warned her, but she was determined. She said she needed it to control her appetite.
Sounds like you knew her pretty well.
I knew the line of work she was involved in.
That'll be all for now, Dr. Stoneman. We'll be in touch.
Ok. Une bonne réponse sur deux, comme tout à l'heure. C'est pas si mal. C'est 50-50 quoi. 50-50. Ça va, ça va. Ça reste correct. Ça fera pas un super score évidemment. C'est pas ce qu'on recherche.
Looked relieved when you said she was dead. It's a strange reaction to have to the death of a young patient.
Have you noticed how croakers only pull out the physician-patient privilege card when they got something to hide?
There are certain things people have a right to keep private.
Until it gets in the way of police work. And it's only private when it suits them. A couple of drinks and every doctor I've met will spill your darkest secrets in a heartbeat.
You all seem to be standing around. Shouldn't you be
Well,
working?
hello. What can I help you with today?
LAPD, ma'am.
I hope I haven't done anything wrong.
No, ma'am. We're making some inquiries about Julia Randall. Does she work here?
No, I had to let her go. Is she in some sort of trouble?
She was found dead this morning. How long had Julia worked as a model?
Well, she worked in New York before coming here. She was a very beautiful girl.
Could you tell us why you let Miss Randall go?
Husbands sometimes come in here with their wives. When Julia Randall modeled, the husbands were often more interested in her than they were their wives' dresses. The wives weren't happy, and neither was I.
Did she have any close friends here?
Actually, yes. Heather Swanson. Would you like to speak with her?
I'd like that very much. Please don't inform her about Miss Randall's death.
Very well, officer. Heather, these gentlemen are from the LAPD.
I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Earl. I understand that you worked with Julia Randall, Miss Swanson?
Yes. Julia helped me get my job here. She's not in any kind of trouble, is she?
She's a hellraiser, isn't she? Lives a fast life.
Oh, no. Maybe Mrs. Stanley would call her that, but I wouldn't. She's full of life, a wonderful company.
That's a lovely engagement ring.
Do you like it? Henry gave it to
I'm
me.
very interested in engagement rings. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
Alors,
That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you.
ok, donc on sait que c'est son ami. Elle est mannequin, c'est son ami.
How did you meet Julia?
I was introduced through my fiancé, Henry Arnett.
Henry is your beau. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. Henry has a fashion business. He and Julia have been friends for years.
Connaissance de Henderson.
Are Miss Randall and Mr. Henderson engaged?
Who's he?
Look, lady, you need to give me something. Do you know anybody who would have cause to harm Julia?
No. Really, Mr. Phelps. Julia's my friend.
1 sur 2. Bon, c'est pas
I
mal.
don't know why anyone would want to hurt her. She's okay, isn't she?
That's
C'est
all
bien.
for now, Miss
Voilà.
Swanson. Could you ask your fiancé to visit Hollywood Police Station? It would be very helpful to our inquiry.
Now, wait a minute.
Franchement, les expressions faciales, elles
I don't
mettent
think I'll
trop
believe
le
that
doute
message
des fois.
when you tell me
C'est
why you're asking all these questions.
c'est trompeur. C'est trompeur, c'est trompeur.
Julia Randall was found dead this morning.
Faudrait tout noter sur une feuille pour faire le perfect, le sans faute et voilà. C'est ça en fait. C'est la seule façon de faire un sans faute en fait. Si tu recommences le jeu, admettons. Tu notes la personne, tu notes le... Voilà quoi, tout ce qu'il faut quoi. C'est pour être marrant à faire. De faire des sans fautes.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
C'est dur quand même.
Are there any messages for me?
En tout cas,
Yes, Detective.
je fais mieux aujourd'hui qu'à l'époque. À l'époque, je me trompais tout le temps. La première fois que je l'ai fait, normal. Mais
Please. Thank you.
aujourd'hui, j'ai plus d'instinct quand même.
Cole, can you get over here? I just finished the autopsy.
Je m'en sors mieux quand même.
Sure thing, Mal. I'll be right over.
Je m'en sors mieux de nos jours. Il n'y a pas photo.
Nice move not telling old Sweet Lips in there about her friend taking the big jump till we were half out the door. Very slick.
I figured we'd get more out of her that way.
You're learning, Phelps. We'll make a vice cop out of you yet.
All units in the vicinity and any central unit. Citizen reports of 415 and 7th and Central. Unit to handle code 2. Identified.
Hôpital d'Hollywood. Bonjour madame.
Detectives Phelps and Earl here to see the coroner.
Yes, Detective. He's waiting for you in the examination room.
Cole, Roy, I have some information for you.
You're the only person enjoying this, Mal. Get on with it.
The bruising confirms 2 sets of hands, so we have 2 killers. Death was caused by heart failure due to an overdose of morphine.
Have you dragged us down here to gloat? We already heard your theory.
We agree that she was murdered.
Yes, of course.
I have something else to show you.
All right, Mal, what gives?
The dead guy's name is Jimmy LeBlanc, career burglar. He came in this morning. Someone stove his head in with a lump of 2x4.
So what? Good riddance.
I found 2 cigarettes in his jacket pocket.
Wow.
Hang on a minute, Roy. We're listening, Mal.
No sign of morphine use and no metabolized morphine in his blood. Scratch marks on his face.
Which could be from getting his head remodeled.
Time of death, Mal.
Maybe an hour or 2 after the Randall girl.
So you're saying Laughing Boy here could be one of our killers? That's a hell of a long shot.
Thanks, Mal. We'll check it out.
I found something else.
Sorry, I don't play.
I don't know if it's significant. His wallet was empty. The only other things he was carrying were the harmonica and the morphine.
Ok.
Carruthers. Yeah, he's here. I'll send him over. They have a guy called Henry Arnett in interview 2 for you next door. Let me know how you get on.
Sure, Mal. And thanks for the lead.
Sure, Mal, thanks for the lead.
Ouais, mais avant d'aller là-bas, on va retourner quand même à l'appart, hein, parce qu'il restait quelque chose quand même. Donc, on y va. On fait les choses bien. C'est pas fini l'hôpital, il y a encore quelque chose. Il y a encore quelque chose. Ou peut-être qu'il faudrait y revenir. Je vais quand même en avoir le cœur net. Dégage-toi! Tapette. Bon, apparemment, il y aurait rien d'autre. Hein. Apparemment. Ah, il me bloquait le passage. Attends, je vais quand même leur parler vite fait. Faudra peut-être y revenir. Ouais, ok, ouais. Je vais aller voir là-dedans quand même. Quand même bizarre. Bon, putain de PNJ. De mes couilles. Pas une autre pièce, éventuellement. Ouais, bon, ok. Très bien. Je vais retourner à l'appart. Ouais, ok. Faudra évidemment y revenir. D'accord. On va aller prendre des preuves parce que si on doit interroger, important d'avoir un maximum de preuves. Les interrogatoires sont longs. Et si tu les foires, bah tu recommences quoi. Donc là, pas de choix. Là, on n'a pas le chouet. Ouais.
I hope you got some money saved up.
Désolé, hein.
That was a tax-paying citizen you just bounced off the fucking hook, Phelps.
May he give us wisdom to lead the people of the world in his ways of peace.
Putain, arrête avec ta sirène, toi. Faut que je change de manette, moi. Ça me gave. Ok. Bon. On va aller reparler à madame, qui me paraissait suspecte déjà. Il nous restait un indice aussi. On fait les choses bien quand même. Bon, on essaye quoi. Oui, si, c'est là. Reparlons. Elle est partie? What? Il n'y a plus personne? Attends, elle est peut-être ailleurs. On va vérifier. On vérifie, hein, c'est pas grave, sinon on va au commissariat. Eh ben, je crois qu'on va aller au commissariat. Ouais. Bon, bah d'accord, ok. Putain, dégage! On va aller interroger avec ce qu'on a. Je vais quand même regarder ce qu'on a. En vrai. Déjà, les individus, on en a eu pas mal. Hein. Oui, il y en a pas mal hein, quand même. Ok. Alors, en indice, la morphine. Ok. On a pas mal d'indices, ce qui ne veut pas dire que c'est des preuves. Pas spécialement. Bon bah, hôpital on en vient. Donc commissariat. Et on va voir ce qu'on peut faire. C'est possible que j'ai loupé quelque chose aussi, hein. Très possible. Ta gueule.
Christ alive, this is a nightmare!
This is a nightmare. Un cauchemar.
That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Donc, en salle d'interrogatoire 2, donc. C'est ce qu'on nous a dit.
Arnett is in interview too, Phelps. Go help him get whatever it is off his chest.
Logiquement.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Non, 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 non. Salle d'interrogatoire 2. Hop là. Ça, c'est la 1. Voilà, c'est à côté, par contre. hein.
Mr. Arnett, I'm Detective Phelps. This is Detective Burrow. Thanks for coming in.
Call me Henry.
It's the least I could do. Terrible news about Julia.
Fiancé de Heather Swanson et ami de Julia Randall.
How well did you know Julia Randall?
Vaguely. I'm in the clothing business, and Julia occasionally modeled.
And you were close?
We were friends.
Miss Randall's landlady said she was seeing an older man.
Could have been. I wasn't privy to all the details of Julia's private life.
Spill it, Henry. You know nothing about a man named Henderson?
Yes, you're right. Henderson, yeah. Very distinguished.
How about a first name, wise guy? An address, maybe?
I'm sorry, I don't. I think he lives somewhere out of town. Somewhere back east.
Ever heard of a Jimmy LeBlanc?
No. Should I have? Is he an entertainer or something?
Je sais pas là.
So you wouldn't have any reason to believe that LeBlanc would be involved in Julie Randall's murder?
If this guy is a criminal, he might have been involved. But like I said, I've never heard of this LeBlanc character.
Heather told us that you were in fashion.
That's right.
Mouthpiece court pushed off me at the grand jury. Case was thrown out. Now the DA wants me.
Some kind of traveling salesman?
Once I got out of the Corps, I used my...
You were in the Marines?
Sure. I'm proud of it. Fighting 6th.
You were in the 6th Marines?
Yes. I was a captain.
Which company?
Various companies. We had a lot of casualties.
Which engagements?
Okinawa. A couple of other places.
That would be all for now, Henry. You've been very helpful.
That son of a bitch was never in the Marines. Why'd you let him off the hook?
Because we're giving him a couple of minutes before we start tailing him. Arnett is an amateur. We need to find out who killed the girl. Can you pass this on to Bukowski? Have him check the place out and go through his records.
Sure, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. Can you also have R&I run the records on a Jimmy LeBlanc and find out who was his last arresting officer? Have him get in touch via KGPL when they have some information.
Ok, ok.
He's in that car at the lights.
Bah, filature. Hein. Allez.
He was squirming like a worm in there. Don't you love it when they pull the war hero excuse? Actually, maybe you don't.
Je trouve qu'il va un peu vite quand même, non?
I'd have expected a cad like Arnett to be a better liar.
Where are you taking us, Henry?
That idiot never stepped foot in Okinawa.
Ça, on avait deviné que c'était un peu un mytho quand même. On avait tous deviné. Hein. Vu comment il a dit, il y en a plein de régiments, il y en a plein de guerres. Okinawa, c'est le plus connu. C'est facile à dire. Et où est-ce qu'il s'est rendu, lui? Parti voir sa meuf.
He needs money and fast. Get in there and find out what he pawned. I'll stick with him, see how he intends to spend the money. Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
I'll bring the car around when I'm done here.
Encore filature. Hein. Avance, truc. Ah, il traverse, non? Si, il traverse. Il me voit pas, là. Hein. Il regarde, il me méfie quand même, enfoiré.
Too much slack. I get closer.
On va se faire cirer les chaussures, vite fait. Histoire de le laisser avancer.
Move in. Can't risk losing the trail.
Ah putain, il est rentré à l'intérieur, merde.
Too much slack. Get closer. That's right, Mexico City. One-way ticket, please.
Ah, il prend la tangente, quoi.
That would be 1 day from now. Is that okay?
It's going to have to be.
Tu te barres au Mexique, hein?
LAPD, the man who just came in here, he bought a ticket?
Yes, sir. To Mexico City tomorrow night.
If you hear from him again, don't mention this conversation.
What have you got?
He bought a ticket from Mexico City tomorrow night.
That's good. But this is better.
Le suiveur. Alors, étui à cigarette Fabergé, bien.
Should
Les
have seen the
trains.
look on the pawnbroker's face when I told him to hand it over. The guy who owned the joint thought it was worth at least 10 large for a cigarette case. Arnett only got 600 clams.
C'est tout. Ok. Ah, j'ai eu le succès parce que je l'ai suivi sans me faire repérer, quoi. Donc c'est cool. Petit téléphone.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Yes, Detective. Detectives Bukowski and Galloway request you return to the Hollywood station. They have information in the Julia Randall case.
Any luck with
Retournez
the
au...
arrest
Ah, voilà.
record check on Jimmy LeBlanc?
Yes, Detective. Jimmy LeBlanc's last arresting officer was Patrolman Fred Wallace. He's posted the Hollywood 9th Beat Sunset Boulevard between Gordon and Wilcox.
Thanks for your help.
Putain, elle est longue cette enquête aussi. Non? Parfait. Alors, commissariat d'Hollywood, bah 9e patrouille, division Hollywood. Ok. Hollywood.
A one-way ticket to Mexico. Old Henry's looking as guilty as a dog next to a pile of dog shit.
What's his motive?
I can think of a few, but I'd put my money south of the belt. One guy plus two dames always equals problems.
Come on, let's give him a hand. Right behind you, Wallace. Detective Phelps.
Wallace, go left. I'm going right after this little prick in the alley.
Quoi? Use bâtard, il est là. Allez! Putain, cours Forest! Va-t-on le panneau sur la colline? Hein? Que dis-tu? No comprendo. Quoi, je l'ai pas eu? Oh merde. Va-t-on voir le panneau Hollywood sur la colline? Je sais pas trop. Je sais plus.
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
They're all yours now. We need some information.
Ever heard of a burglar goes by the name of Jimmy LeBlanc?
Sure. Didn't have Jimmy on a burglary beat a couple of years back. They cut through a music shop and into a jewelry store. He got 4 years. I miss his partner, though.
His partner?
Big guy. I had him cornered, and he picked up this huge display case and threw it out a plate glass window. Then he vaulted out of there like something out of Barnum and Bailey.
Got away.
I would have had him, except for LeBlanc yelling, "Run for it, Willie!"
And you think he was an acrobat of some sort?
More like a strongman, a wrestler, or a boxer, that kind of thing.
Boxeur.
Thanks. Been a big help.
You haven't done too badly yourself.
Ok. Bien longue hein, cette enquête, hein, bien complète. Retournons à l'appartement juste pour voir. Non, je crois pas, non. Je crois pas. 2 fois, pas 3, hein, pour rien. Il y a de la... Ah bah, vous voulez voir le panneau?
You're suggesting LeBlanc is still working
Hollywoodland.
with Willie?
Enfin, le panneau. L'écriteau plutôt.
Strong man held down Randall while someone administered the
Hollywoodland.
poison. Someone with muscle opened up LeBlanc's skull. Could be.
Voilà. Ah ouais? Je dis des écriteaux, un écriteau quoi. Quoi? Fils de...
This car cost me a fortune, you moron.
Caught up with Mal. He's giving us the dope on LeBlanc. He worked burglaries with a big guy. Goes by the name of Willie. He might be our killer. Can you work boxing gyms, the Y, promoters?
YMCA.
Since when have you
What?
started giving orders, Phelps? And where's the burglary angle? There was no sign of a...
That's where our net comes in. Next stop, we speak to Lacey about a list of recent burglaries.
Guy's a bum. His office is a front, and he's behind on the rent and his phone bill.
And he's skipping town tomorrow.
Let's get him in and beat it out of him.
Do you want to bring in the killer, Rusty?
You could be too smart for your own good, Phelps. We've been talking about that, haven't we, boy?
Bon, il y a un pourri hein, dans tout ça, il y a un gros pourri. Moi j'ai une petite idée quand même sur le pourri. Sur Earl, lui là, celui qui a la veste saumon et grise. Pour moi c'est lui le pourri. Depuis le début, depuis qu'on est dans les mœurs, il tape facilement.
Cigarette case on there?
Il fait des trucs, voilà quoi. Stylo à plume Mont Blanc, 1er juin. Hein. Non, 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 non. Ok. Qu'est-ce que la collection? Broche en diamant, Van Cleef. Merde, qu'est-ce que je fais? Alors, on en fait
I'm at a loss.
suis pas perdu, connard. Je te demande un truc.
What now? Are you gonna check that burglary list or what?
Con, lui. Foiré. On va tous les faire, hein.
Even the engagement ring was
Même la bague de fiançailles a été volée. Quel minable. Ah ouais.
Seems Julia wasn't the first bored society girl to hide her bennies in that pillbox. It's here. Arnett must be out of his mind trying to move this while under a murder cloud.
L'objectif, enquêter chez... Il y en a encore? What? Et tu as cigarette, ouais, ça je m'en rappelle. Boucle d'oreille, non, rien à voir. Non. Putain, c'est chiant comment il descend en vrai, putain. Et c'est pas tout apparemment. Mais non, mais... Attends, je vais mettre... Putain, chiant.
Julia Randall's ring. It's here.
Casse-couille. Pour descendre avec le joystick, on peut faire qu'avec le joystick en plus. C'est trop chiant. C'est vraiment trop chiant. Mais bon, on fait avec. Hein. Surtout que ma manette, elle commence vraiment à déconner celle-là. Faut que je m'en rachète une sans fil là. Très très vite. En plus, le bouton A, il reste coincé en plus. C'est la totale. La totale.
Anything you would like to tell me, partner?
Phelps, don't be so touchy. Rusty had his best ever clearance rate working with you.
C'est chiant.
Even if the cases he worked on can't be discussed.
Niveau confort, c'est chiant quoi. On va dire. On va dire ça comme ça.
You're a Booneroo case man, Phelps. One of the best I've ever seen.
Thanks.
You gotta learn to take a compliment, Phelps.
A hopped-up model, a cat, and a circus freak. Only in L.A.
Fairy tales of the rich and famous.
Ah, c'est pareil, le joystick gauche là, il met l'alarme quand je tourne, c'est n'importe quoi. Il met la sirène quand je tourne, c'est n'importe quoi. Ah, toi tu joues sur PC toi?
More like pathetic tales of the desperate to be rich and famous.
Moi, je ne joue pas sur PC.
Arnett, LeBlanc and Willie.
Don't you go putting the pieces
Donc pour chaque console, il me faut la manette d'origine quoi.
Listen to your old pal Rusty, or should I say Finn.
Et ça coûte quand même assez cher.
What do you care? It doesn't sound like
C'est
you're
tout
the
de suite
top of the
minimum 20
Christmas
balles. Hein,
card
pour,
list. He gives everyone
autant,
a
autant
hard
la
time.
prendre neuve,
That's
quoi.
just how he is.
20-30
Whatever
balles.
gets you through the day, Cole.
Autant la prendre neuve, hein, au moins ça dure des années. Quoi. Je parle des manettes 360, quoi. Par exemple, hein. Une manette Super NES, ouais, c'est 30-40 balles. Hein. Mais elle est neuve, la mienne, là, encore, elle est neuve. Je parle de ma manette Super Nintendo, mais j'aime bien en avoir toujours deux. On peut pas tout avoir. Entre les jeux rétro, les figurines des maîtres de l'univers et autres. Faut faire des choix, hein, des accessoires. Il y a des choix à faire, quoi. Il y a des choix à faire. On peut pas tout avoir d'un coup, quoi.
Look out!
Tu vois, je tourne, ça, tellement il est baisé le joystick, ça met la sirène, c'est n'importe quoi. Pour ça, tout à l'heure, je me suis fait avoir dans la filature, en vrai. C'est incroyable. Bon, elle est baisée, quoi. Elle est baisée, c'est tout.
LAPD, ma'am. Is Mrs. Eavestrom in?
She is. Would you follow me?
Elle marche, mais bon, voilà, quoi. Des fois, elle se déconnecte aussi en plein jeu. C'est génial. J'adore.
I am Mrs. Eastrom. How may I help you?
We appear to have
Putain, elle est super longue, cette enquête. Putain, vache.
Yes, of course. That terrible burglary. Would you like something to drink?
No, thank you, ma'am. We have some questions, if you don't mind.
Ouais, on va se faire une petite clope avant, hein. Oh,
If you are returning
oh,
43
oh, oh,
pieces of
oh,
my
oh.
property.
Ça va, là, hein.
Okay, before we get down to that, I'll have a scotch. Thanks, straight up.
Maria, can you get
On
me
l'avance
a
bien en
taxi
ce moment, elle est noire, là, on est bien, là. C'est cool, puis ça fait plaisir aussi. Je suis en mode elle est noire en ce moment, vraiment. Je joue qu'à ça, en fait, quand je stream. Carrément. J'ai pas joué à d'autres jeux depuis, en fait. Et là, on va bientôt changer, là. Parce que j'en attends un autre, là. On va changer. On finira celui-là. Hein. On aura un autre jeu en cours. Clairement, ça va changer. Hein. C'est total différent, là. C'est Pays des Bisounours. À côté. Mais c'est un bijou, quoi. Non, moi non plus. Hein. Non, mais j'ai toujours 2-3 jeux en cours. Hein. De toute façon, là, ça va, j'en ai 2. J'ai le Rayman, il me reste 20% à avoir sur PS1. Puis bah celui-là, c'est tout. Hein. D'habitude, j'en ai 2-3, voire plus. Hein. Voire plus. Voire plus.
Maria, I think we best get this
Non,
officer.
ça varie, tu vois, ça dérange pas spécialement.
He looks
J'aime bien aussi
very
varier.
formless.
Mais bon, celui-là, je sais qu'il est très long. Il faut l'avancer si on veut, voilà. Mais bon. C'est un kiff, hein, au moins tu perds pas le fil. C'est un peu comme un film, quoi. Tu perds pas le fil. Celui-là, je peux pas trop me permettre d'arrêter 2-3 semaines. Tu perds le fil. T'es plus dans l'ambiance, quoi. Donc autant le finir une fois que t'es lancé, et puis les DLC, c'est encore différent. C'est des enquêtes qui n'ont rien à voir avec la trame principale. Donc, tu peux les faire quand tu veux. C'est pas un problème. C'est ça qui est bien. Et en fait, il y en a 5 DLC. C'est cool quand même. 5 enquêtes d'au moins 2 heures chacune.
Maria,
Quasiment.
I think we best get this officer.
Eh ben, ça va être beau, quoi. J'en aurais eu pour mon pognon, pour ce coffret intégral. On va pas se mentir. Alors, liste des objets volés. Ok.
Can you describe to us what was stolen?
It would be easier to describe what wasn't stolen, detective. A priceless tiara that has been in the family for
Diadème, hein. Nettoyer cigarette Fabergé. Ok, ça oui. Pour l'instant, elle ne ment pas.
$25,000.
We recovered a black sapphire ring.
A beautiful piece. It belongs to my daughter.
Ah si, elle a quand même mitonné rapport sur le cambriolage.
What can you tell us about the burglary?
A terrible night. At least a year ago. But let's not go into that. Let's talk about what you've recovered.
I get the sense that you're worried about something, Mrs. Eastrom.
I have already already received the insurance claim, Detective. Is there any way we could keep the return of these items discreet?
J'ai tout faux avec elle. Bon, c'est pas ça, c'est pas très important.
The department will get in touch. Let you know
Ce
how
qui est
you
important
recover
le
your
plus,
value.
c'est les interrogatoires au commissariat, quoi. Là, tu peux pas, t'as pas droit à l'erreur trop, quoi.
What else has been recovered?
You see, Phelps?
C'est plus
That's
pour gagner
why
des
you
points
get
d'intuition.
sooner or
Hello, Mother.
Mais ça peut influer
Hello,
sur
detectives.
l'enquête aussi, suivant les
What is
interrogatoires.
going on?
We'd like to ask exactly the same question.
You have met my daughter?
This morning at work.
Oui,
Oh,
on l'a vu,
mother
on l'a
and
vu.
father divorced. I took my father's name.
The detectives recovered some of the things that were stolen, darling.
Well, what did you find?
A sapphire ring on the corpse of Julia Randall.
What are you talking about?
Your engagement ring, Miss Swanson. Would you be surprised to know that it was part of the proceeds of a burglary?
That's an outrageous allegation.
Yes, it is. I suggest we go straight to Henry Arnett's place and sort this mess out.
Elle est super longue cette enquête, hein. Waouh. Au moins, t'as de quoi faire. Ouais. Ok. Alors, Arnett. Ok, Arnett.
We're missing something here. Arnett is obviously.
Alors, c'est vraiment un petit bijou ce jeu quand même.
Fiancé you're making scurrilous accusations about.
Dommage qu'il n'y en ait pas d'autres comme ça. Dans le genre.
But neither of them are the type to creep
Il y en a
apart.
peut-être.
You're being
Peut-être pas aussi abouti quand même.
Both of you. There's a
C'est
very
pour ça que
good
j'ai
explanation
fait
for
celui-là,
all
quoi.
of this.
Il est vraiment abouti
What a
celui-là.
sock in it, sister. You're being played for a patsy and
Il est
you're
vraiment
not
abouti.
smart enough to see it.
Et coucou Pupiou. Comment il va Pupiou?
Much more fun with the
Culé.
siren on, Phelps.
Après, je reste en l'air que je fais à manger. Ah bah je serai plus là, je sais pas. Hein. Je finis cette enquête. Mais bonne app, pas de souci. Je finis cette enquête quoi. On en a fait deux encore ce matin. Putain de joystick. C'est quand même assez loin.
Come on, sister.
Mais non, normalement je reviens cet après-midi. Une fois que j'aurai fini cette enquête, on s'arrêtera et je reviens cet après-midi. On l'avance à fond.
Welcome, sir. I'm sorry, are you a resident?
Qu'est-ce qu'il a, lui? Il a un problème?
LAPD detectives. We're here to speak to Henry Arnett.
Oh, Mr. Arnett? Apartment 30.
Apartment
You can
30.
take the lift.
Thank you.
Ok, mec. Après vous, monsieur, dame. Bon, bah, ce sera avant vous, alors.
Well, isn't this just nice and awkward?
Il va se barrer encore à tous les coups, non? Free! Freeze! Bah, quelqu'un s'est occupé de... Ah ouais!
Stop! LAPD! Okay, Cole, this guy's our case. Put your hands in the air.
C'était clairement une évidence. C'était téléphoné. C'était téléphoné.
Don't make me chase you. Stop or I will shoot.
Ah, je suis pas tombé pour une fois. Je suis pas tombé. Pour une fois.
Looks like he got you good, Phelps.
Yeah, he really packs a wallop. How'd I get back here?
Un sacré punch, il lui a mis un coup de batte de baseball. Rien à voir avec un punch.
Came in through the window, said hello, and then keeled over.
How was Arnett?
He's coming around too. He's all hopped up. Good time to get some answers.
You missing something, Henry?
Fouiller l'appartement. On va fouiller. On sent, on l'a filé tout à l'heure, donc on sait, on le savait.
You told Heather you're honeymooning without her? Vacheron Constantine. It's an extremely expensive watch, Henry.
A graduation present from my parents.
Il n'y a rien d'autre. Il n'y a pas un journal éventuellement ici? Là, je l'avais déjà pris. C'est vrai qu'on est déjà venu, effectivement. Alors.
We know all about the jewelry ring. You and Randall and LeBlanc and Willie doing the legwork.
I'm in the fashion business.
You're lying, Henry.
How can you prove that I'm involved, detective?
Il est mal quand même. Alors attends. Donc, faut pas faire les cons là. Ah. Deux suspects de meurtre confirmés d'après l'analyse. Non. Ordonnance, non. Non.
I thought as much.
Merde.
Shouldn't you be calling me an ambulance or something?
J'ai déconné. Pas grave.
Why did Reed and LeBlanc kill Julie Randall? I wanted to stop, to get out of that life. I was gonna marry Heather if she had me. Julia told the others that they were out, that she was gonna create a new gang.
Là, faut observer les deux, quoi.
wanted Julia Randall out of your life.
Why would he want that? Julia was our friend.
Julia was his hump, sweetheart. They were the Bonnie and Clyde of society burglars. He met you and realized he didn't have to steal anymore. He could just mooch from you. He needed Julia out of the way.
Julia was insatiable. She didn't care about anyone, not the least me. She was never going to go back to the poverty she came from. I wanted it to stop.
Who is Henderson, and what is his involvement?
Tell them what you know, Henry. I'll stand by you if you'll only tell the truth.
There is no Henderson.
Tell me about your first burglary, and don't lie.
I can't remember. I don't keep a list of these things.
Éventuellement. Voilà. Non, ça on s'en fout.
Your first burglary was a Dr. Harold Stoneman. You want to explain how he is involved, or shall I?
Henderson is Stoneman. He was crazy about Julia. She could get him to do whatever she wished. He threw the parties, and we arranged the burglaries. Julia never let him touch her. She just kept him hanging on the promise. Drove the good doctor almost insane.
Henry Arnett, you are under arrest for burglary and for the murder of Julia Randall.
Henderson is Stoneman, all right? I'm not the guy you want. Go talk to the good doctor.
Oh, we will, knucklehead. Meanwhile, we're fitting you for convict stripes.
Bah, elle était longue, hein, cette enquête. Hein. Putain, hein. Putain, super long. Ça en finit plus.
Goddamn maniac!
I guess the wedding's off.
He only robbed her mother and killed her best friend. Cut the guy some slack.
So how does the doctor fit in?
That's what we're about to find out. Maybe we should ask him to give you a quick once-over. That meathead gave you one hell of a pasting.
I've had worse.
You should have seen yourself staggering back in there like a drunken sailor.
Next time you can take the runner, Roy.
I didn't box in the Marines, though, did I? I hope you got some money saved up.
Should have never told you that.
On s'en sort pas trop mal, hein, quand même.
Time for the doctor to give us something to make this all better.
Hang on a moment, sister. Tell him it's Henry Arnett. And tell him it's urgent.
I can't do that.
Tell him, or I'll charge you with obstruction of justice.
Doctor, I'm afraid Mr. Arnett is here to see you, and he says it's urgent.
Send him in. I told you never to come.
Tell us the truth, doctor.
Baiser.
I'm so glad you came. Prison will be better than
Right.
insanity, and I'm already half insane with grief. Do you know that I loved her? I ruined my life for her. still love her.
Will you testify in court that Arnett and Randall did these robberies?
They organized the robberies. Julie would get the names of the guests attending my wife's parties. Didn't matter how much money I showered upon her, it was never enough. She never really cared for me.
Doctor, I'm afraid you're under arrest.
Eh ouais, mon pote.
The practice. You'll call Dr. Gerard. No. Please don't cry. I want to see no one. Not my wife or my children, nor my friends. And I don't want a lawyer. Just lock me up and throw away the key.
Carrément.
What have I done?
Boum!
Didn't see that coming.
Il était trop coopératif quand même. Ouais. Il se laissait enfermer un peu trop facilement quand même. Ah oui, la rip. Hein. Bye, Mr. Worms.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
I need an ambulance and the coroner immediately to the offices of Dr. Harold Stoneman, 1646 Ivor Street, Hollywood.
En route, Detective. You have a message. Detective Bukowski says the suspect is named Wilson Willie the Wolf Reed, former wrestler. Last known address is an apartment building at the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Detective Bukowski says to meet them there.
On our way.
Putain, elle est super longue. Putain,
We
vache.
have an address for the runner.
Ça se trouve, on va passer au 4e CD après. Hein. Je sais pas. J'en sais rien, je dis ça. Je me rappelle plus. Je ne sais plus exactement. Donc.
That old boy really fell for that broad.
She was incredibly beautiful.
Would you throw it all away for a woman?
Life has a way of making you pay for your pride. You're talking from experience.
I certainly am. Oh, I like women as much as the next guy. As long as they're in their place and doing what they're told.
I heard this is a triple homicide. Is that true?
Bonjour.
Thank God I didn't park there.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another combination?
Et encore un petit monument de découvert.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. The kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this side of the street.
A harmonica playing wrestler. That's a weird one.
Just keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. No one in cohorts.
Wilson Reed, LAPD, give yourself up.
Tu vas me dire que je l'ai pas descendu là? Ah non, il va me bloquer lui, il est chiant. Au moins, il va pas me mettre un coup de botte dans la tête. Contrairement...
Hold it. He's got to be around here somewhere. No place to go unless he grew wings.
Tu m'étonnes.
There he is. Where's the son of a bitch?
Son of a bitch really picked a spot for it up here, didn't he? Julia Randall's folks are flying in from New York tomorrow to claim the body. I saw her on the slab. So perfect. Looked like she was made of porcelain. She really made an impression on me.
Julia had that impact on a lot of men.
Christ, it's cold. You guys did good
Enfin,
work here.
il est content.
Right. I think you should buy your brother officers a drink.
Enfin, il est content.
Do you now? That's very generous of you, Lieutenant.
Notre lieutenant est content pour une fois. C'est rare. Sac de nœuds et petite pépée. 14 sur 16, quand même indice trouvé. 6 sur 16, question correcte. 2 étoiles, c'est pas mal. Si seulement de la morphine avait été découverte chez Julia. Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'on n'est pas retourné. Carothers aurait pu confirmer sa thèse du meurtre. Bon, on s'en fout. Hein. Flashback. Merci pour GG. Flashback à Okinawa.
The whole company is gone, Hank. The major is dead. We're being overrun. We have to get off of this hill.
That's one of our 50 cal still firing, Cole. The 22nd are still fighting.
Ah, du coup, il est déjà 14h. Je sais pas si je vais streamer cet après-midi, du coup. En tout cas, je reviens ce soir. Ce sera sur du rétro.
It's over, Cole. Looks like you're one of the lucky ones.
Si je reviens pas cet après-midi, je reviens ce soir. Sur du rétro.
Bye to your friend Hank, Jack.
He was your friend too, Cole. Is this how you're going to leave him? Are you wounded?
Not a scratch, Kelso.
Well, get up and get out of that fucking hole. Find a stretcher while you're at it so we can get him out of here.
Who's the senior officer here?
I guess that's you, Cole.
You were up here all night?
Yes, sir.
And your command?
Gone, sir.
Sorry to hear that, son. God damn it, we have beaten these bastards back. It's the beginning of the end, and it was one here. You're a goddamn hero, son. What's your name?
Phelps.
Lieutenant Phelps, sir.
I'm recommending you for the Silver Star and promoting you to First Lieutenant.
Eh oui, c'est un héros de guerre. Eh oui. Veuillez mettre le CD4. Non, on va voir, on va voir. Pas encore. On n'est pas encore au CD4. Donc le destin manifeste, et ça, ce sera pour une prochaine fois, évidemment. Soit cet après-midi, soit mardi pour Elle est Noire. Soit cet après-midi, soit mardi pour Elle est Noire. Alors peut-être que je reviens cet après-midi dessus, mais si je reviens pas cet après-midi, on est déjà cet après-midi, mais si je reviens pas cet après-midi, je reviens ce soir sur du rétro. Soirée rétro, pépère. Alors sac de nœuds, hein, ok. Ça va, franchement là on avait bien géré quand même. Okay. Bon, il y a encore du job, hein, les gars. Il y a encore du job. Et voilà, bon bah j'espère que ça vous a plu. On va faire un petit raid à quelqu'un, hein, pour le soutien, si vous avez quelqu'un que vous voulez qu'on raid éventuellement. Ceux qui sont là, hein, je ne sais pas qui est là. Je ne sais pas qui est là. Hop là. Tiens, il y a Rémi qui stream. Il stream quoi? Discussion, montage, machin, machin. Ça, c'est quoi, ça? Pas de souci, l'étudiant. Merci d'être passé, en tout cas. On va faire un petit raid, quand même. On va quand même faire un petit raid à Rémi, qui est tout seul, pour l'instant. Allez, c'est parti. Allez, je vous dis des bisous et peut-être à cet après-midi, sinon à ce soir. Tchuss.